In a hollow between two sleepy hills, there was a very special garden. It did not grow flowers or vegetables. This was the garden where all the leftover noises from the nearby town came to rest at the end of the day. And by dusk, the garden was a messy, restless place. The angry shouts from a traffic jam would settle like sharp, red weeds. The worried whispers of grown-ups would tangle together like prickly vines. The loud, silly songs from cartoons would lie in bright, buzzing patches like garish flowers. The garden was cared for by a little gnome named Gilead. He was the moon gardener. He had a long white beard, a pointy blue hat, and eyes that twinkled with a gentle, patient light. He knew that for the world to truly rest, the garden of noises had to be put to bed. His job was to plant silence. Every night, just as the moon began to rise, Gilead would come out of his little mushroom house with his tools, a tiny watering can filled with dew he'd collected that morning, and a soft leather pouch. Inside the pouch were his precious seeds of quiet. They looked like small, perfectly round, smooth black pearls. He would start in the patch nearest the town, where the noises were the loudest. Here, the sharp red weeds of angry shouts grew thick. Gilead would sigh softly. He knelt down. With one long, gentle finger, he poked a small hole in the earth between two of the red weeds. He took a single black seed from his pouch and dropped it in. Plink. He covered it over with soft soil. Then he took his little watering can and tipped it, letting just one single perfect drop of dew fall onto the spot. And then the magic would begin. In a slow, beautiful, silent dance, a patch of deep, dark, velvety moss would begin to grow from where the seed was planted. It didn't erupt from the ground, it just expanded. It grew in a slow, perfect circle, and as it grew, it began to absorb the red, angry weeds. The sharp color would fade, and the angry feeling would melt away, drawn into the soft, silent moss. Soon, where there had been a patch of angry, red noise, there was only a beautiful, beautiful dance. Calm circle of deep green, silent moss. One seed was planted. The garden was a little quieter. Gilead moved on. He went to the tangled vines of worried whispers. They twisted around the stems of the sleepy daisies and made them droop. He found a spot in the middle of the tangle. Poke, plink, one drop of dew. He watched with a peaceful smile as another circle of silence moss began its slow, relentless growth. It grew over and under the tangled vines, and as it touched them, they untangled and faded away. Their worried energy absorbed into the deep, calm green. The daisies straightened up, looking relieved. 2 seeds were planted. The garden was quieter still. The moon gardener's work was a slow, repetitive, and peaceful meditation. He moved through the entire garden, his bare feet making no sound on the soft earth. He found the bright, buzzing patches of television songs. Poke, plink, a drop of dew. A patch of moss grew, and the buzzing faded into a gentle hum, and then into perfect silence. He found the scattered gray pebbles of sad thoughts. Poke, plink, a drop of dew, a patch of moss grew, covering the pebbles like a soft blanket until their sadness was just a memory. He worked for hours, but it was not tiring work. Each seed he planted, each circle of silence he grew, made him feel more peaceful. His movements were a slow, steady rhythm under the moon. Find the noise, poke the earth, drop the seed, plink, add the dew, watch the silence grow. He planted a seed that quieted the memory of a dog's frantic barking. He planted a seed that silenced the clang of a dropped pot. He planted a seed that soothed the memory of a child's frustrated cry. Each noise was absorbed. Each patch of moss joined the others, until the whole garden, which had been a chaotic jumble of color and sound, was now a beautiful, uniform landscape of deep, dark, peaceful green under the soft, white light of the moon. Finally, his pouch was empty. His watering can was dry. He stood in the center of his silent garden. The only sounds now were the natural, peaceful ones. The whisper of the gentle night wind, the sleepy chirp of a single cricket, and the sound of his own slow, contented breathing. The noises of the day were gone, put to bed under a soft blanket of magical moss. The world could now have a truly quiet and peaceful night. Gilead the gnome smiled. His work was done. He returned to his little mushroom house, and as soon as his head touched his little moss pillow, he fell into a deep, silent, and well-earned sleep, dreaming of the beautiful, quiet garden he had grown.